Wanted to quickly just go over some points regarding the jury's decision with regards to brokerages conspiring to keep real estate commissions, I should say, high, to the tune of $1.875 billion. That decision was rendered on November, I believe. And I got some feedback and some messages from different agents curious as to where I think the industry is going because of the decision. And there's going to be other class action lawsuits that are going to follow this one. Usually where there's one, there's more. So what does that mean to us as agents? Our industry has been changing for at least the last 3 to 5 years. In an aggressive manner, it's changing. If you're an agent and you get leads from a third-party source, which could be something like HomeLight, Fast Expert, their RIPs used to be 20%, 25%. Now they are 35 and 40%, those referral fees. So those are huge RIPs. Why is that? It's because the industry as a whole, the inventory is very tight. So the ones that they do get, they are charging a higher fee for because it's costing them more to get the lead. That's one. The second part is I really truly believe that real estate, the way transactions are processed as a whole is changing, and it's changing basically. It's very fluid. It's changing daily. Now, what do I mean by that? You walk in, you and your spouse, you guys walk in and you want to meet with Joe the agent or Sandy the agent, and she's going to go over with you on paper, actual papers. Here's what's available in your area, and let's go out and we're going to drive around and take a look at what's available. That hasn't happened in years. Okay. I can't even imagine the last time I walked into a real estate office. Nonetheless, anybody that I know that is looking for real estate to purchase or that is going to sell a piece of real estate. Literally almost nobody walks into an office these days anymore. So what does that mean? That means that these offices that are out there, they cost a ton every month to run. I know this because I used to work at 2 of them. So they cost a high amount every month to run. So those fees and expenses, they trickle down to you as the agent. So that is why cap rates, and I've talked about this before, I used to see cap rates, in the high teens, very, very low 20s. Now they're high 20s and low 30s. Why is that? Because inflation has caused utilities to go up. The rents of these spaces goes up. And again, at the end of the day, at the bottom of the pyramid is you, the agent. So it's always going to trickle down from management first, all the ownership, then to management, then to you, the agent. Okay, so when you understand that pyramid of the management, ownership, I should say ownership first will get paid, then management and middle management next, then you, the agent. You are last. Okay, you're at the bottom of the pyramid. So when you understand that model, that is why if you are at one of these brokerages, your fees and caps have gone up exponentially. They're probably almost close to doubled. So, and those places that you're at, again, I am aware that people like to go into the office because their friends are there and they want to see them and talk to them. That was never a part of, why I did real estate. I'm not in real estate to go into office and talk about sports and, the latest TV show. That's not interesting to me. What is interesting is increasing my skill level so the clients that I have, I can serve them in the best way possible. We create an awesome, positive, healthy, collaborative relationship to where they are referring me clients when their friends, colleagues, and family want to or need to enter the real estate market. Okay, so these traditional brokerages, really all they are platforms to process transactions. That is getting more and more and more expensive. And when you are at these places, that is why your fees and your caps are going up. and your brokerages are taking more from you because it's costing them more to run these offices. So, and then when you have these lawsuits that come out, and these companies, these franchises have to pay millions of dollars because of these results of these lawsuits, that trickles down, and at the end of the day, you as the agent, even though you may not have been involved in it, you have to be. It's going to affect you. It's going to cost you money. So that is why your skill level, how you are able to present yourself to the public, to be able to really, I guess, serve them in the best way possible. But why can you do that? Because you have skills and value that you've now learned and enhanced over time. When you have that ability and you can serve in that manner, these lawsuits and all of these fees and things from other companies, it doesn't matter. None of that matters. All of your hard work and your earnings, your commission, it goes to you, the agent. That's the difference, and that's what I see. It's like I really look at these traditional brokerages as like Blockbuster, and in that that's the old way, people walking and actually going into an office to do transactions. Well, that was Blockbuster. Blockbuster was like, hey, we're just going to think that you are going to walk into Blockbuster every time you need to rent a movie. And it's insane. The internet changed all of that. Well, the internet has changed how real estate companies process transactions. It's the same thing. So that's how I see these brokerages. I see them as the yellow cab service. Do you see yellow cabs anymore in Hudson County or even any of these other areas? No. What do you do when you need to get a ride from an airport or from your friend's house or from you're actually out for a night, you don't want to drive home and you've been drinking? What do you do? Yes, that's right. You Uber or you take a Lyft. Are these places, do they even own any real estate? No, the answer is no. So because of this, yellow cabs, Blockbuster, places like that, things like that are the old way, and they are eventually going to go by the wayside because of the cost. It just costs too much to be there. Now, if you want to get in on the new way, what is changing and the future, I call it, of where I see real estate happening. And again, it's all online. Everything is online. Your buyers generally, my buyers always find property before I can find it. Why? Because they're on this all day, every day, which they should be. And when they find it, then that's where I come in and I can do the research on the property and find out, all about it, which is what an algorithm can't do. But if you, in my opinion, if you think that these traditional big real estate franchises that have these big offices that cost a ton to run every month, if you think that's going to be the model that's going to, go 20 and 30 years in, even 5 to 10 years in, I think you're sorely mistaken. We're already in a place where real estate transactions are processed in a cloud. If you want to be a part of that and get involved with it so your commissions go to you and not to your brokerage, we can have a discussion about that. So, guys, that's what I wanted to talk to you about, because again, I've had some agents, DM me some questions like, hey, I notice you have an opinion on this. Like, what do you think is going to happen with this? And most of it was talking about the lawsuit that a lot of those big time brokerages and franchises were a part of, and they're going to have to pay at some point. They can appeal it, and which will probably take a couple years. But at the end of the day, that trickles right down to you, the agent. This is not going away. It is changing. This industry is changing. It is very fluid. And again, if going to the office to talk with your friends is more important to you than transacting these deals and having more of that income come to you, then stick with what you're doing. Go to the office every day. Go talk to your friends and talk about TV shows and sports and all that other nonsense. But if skills, value, serving the public, earning income, and almost all the income coming to you is important to you, DM me the word income and we can have a conversation about that. So that's what I wanted to say. I appreciate everybody that reached out to me and had questions and opinions, and they had opinions and things. And I love the back and forth that we can have. We can have an open-ended conversation about our industry and what's happening, and even some things macroeconomically, with the Fed and housing reports and income reports and employment reports and things like that. Love talking shop. So if you have any, opinions about that, questions, DM me and we can always have a conversation about it. So I appreciate y'all very much. Thanks for giving me this platform to talk. And again, always here to help and serve you in the best way we can to provide the most value I can. I always want to provide more value to you than I do for myself. Thanks, y'all. Be well. I sold my last property in 2022. So last year early. I had to wait all the way until now, almost 2 years later.